In this lesson, we will solve more questions to improve our understanding of two systems of measurements. Here, question number 1 is given. How many homes can be built in a land piece measuring 50 meter by 60 meter if each home is 90 feet by 30 feet? Each home is to be separated by 10 feet. If you take a look on this figure, the area of plot is given in meters. So we will need to convert this width of the plot in meters, because lengthwise there is only one home that will be built along the length. So there is nothing to worry about lengthwise. We only need to make adjustments widthwise. So width of the plot, is given, this is equal to 60 meters. 60 meters. Since we know that 1 meter in meters and feet, 1 meter represents 3.25 feet. So 60 meters will represent how many feet? We have no idea. That's why we call it X. The ratio of numbers in meters is same as ratio of numbers in feet. Since ratio of width in meters is same as ratio in feet. So 1 over 60 is same as 3.25 over X. We divide both numbers on the left side and we divide both numbers on the right side. This ratio must be same. If we cross multiply now, and this will give us 1 time X is equal to 60 times 3.25. So this will be value of X. X would be equal to 60 times 3.25, that will be 195 feet. You can see that X is on the side under column of feet. That's why this X must be in feet. So now we have width of plot in feet. And how much is the width per home? Width per home. There is a 5 feet on left side of each home. So 5 feet padding on left, 5 feet on left. That has to be, space has to be provided, plus how much is the width for home? That is 30 feet. 30 feet plus 5 feet has to be made available on right side, 5 feet on right. And this way the total width one home will occupy will become 40 feet. And the total width of the plot is 190 feet, and width required including that empty space on both sides of home is 40 feet. Therefore, number of homes it will be equal to 195 divided by 40, and whatever this number will become, This is 4.875. 4.875. We can ignore the decimal part because home is only going to be a whole number. So ignoring the decimal part, number of homes will be equal to 4. So this is required answer for the given question. Now let's take a look on the second question. And the second question is that 1 hectare represents 2.741 acres. Then how many hectares will be a piece of land measuring 160 acres? So now the number of acres which are included in 1 hectare is given. Let's write down question number 2. So similarly we write acres and we write hectares. 2.741 acres are represented by 1 hectare. Then we need to represent 160 acres by how many hectares? We have no idea. So we are going to write under acres 160, but we don't know how many hectares will be in 160 acres. For the same reason as we described in the last question, the ratio between acres is same as ratio in hectares. Since ratio in acres is equal to ratio in hectares, this means 2.741 when divided by 160 is equal to 1 over x. And now we can cross multiply, and if we cross multiply, this is going to be x times 2.741 equal to 1 times 160. Now for finding value of x, we are going to divide both sides by 2.741. Therefore, x would be equal to 160 divided by 2.741. And when we divide 160 by 2.741, the answer is 58.37. This is equal to 58.37. This is how many hectares will be represented by 160 acres. So this is answer to first part of the question. And now in the second part, what is being asked? For part B of the same question, if this land is in the form of a perfect square, then let's write it down. Make a square. If this is a square, that is being represented by 58.37. 58.37 hectares. The side length of this square is half a mile. Half mile. If this is side of the square, then length of side square is equal to area of square. That's the formula. area of square. If that is the case, then this length of side is half a mile that is given in the question. So if this is half mile power 2 equal to area of this square is 58.37 hectares. So these are hectares, and now if we open the square, this will become 1 by 2 mile time 1 by 2 mile mean 1 by 4 mile square is equal to 58.37. And if we multiply both sides by 4, this mile square means 1 mile square is equal to 58.37 times 4, and this will be equal to 233.48. 233.48 hectares. So 1 mile square, or in other words, a square whose side length is equal to 1 mile will represent 233.48 hectares. And now we will solve question number 3. In question number 3, what we are required to do is we will convert 162 centimeters into feet and inches. 162 centimeters. So here question number 3, and if you are following along these questions, you know that 2.5 centimeters are in inches. 1 inch. And how many? We are having 162 centimeters are represented by how many inches? We have no idea. Since ratio in centimeters is same as ratio in inches, so ratio of centimeters is equal to ratio of inches. Therefore 2.5 divided by 162 is equal to 1 over x, and like always we are going to cross multiply this for solution. So 2.5 times x is equal to 1 times 162. This means x is equal to 162 divided by 2.5, and when we divide 162 by 2.5, this gives us x equal to 64.8. If we change 0.8 into fraction, this would become 8 over 10, and 8 over 10, if we divide the numerator and denominator by 2, this its equivalent fraction would be 4 over 5. Therefore this will become 64 whole 4 over, or 64 inches. You can separate them inch, and 4 over 5 inch you can separate it, or even you can write 64 whole 4 by 5 inches. And now let us convert 64 inches into feet and inches separately. So if we convert this 64, and for that purpose we are going to divide it by 12. So here 5 times is 60, and what we have in remainder is 4. This means x is equal to 5 feet plus 4 inches. 4 inches, and we already have 4 by 5 inch. And if we now combine all these, this will be 5 feet plus 4 whole 4 by 5 inch. Or you can write in terms of symbol. If you want to write it as symbol, you can write it 5 feet, just one dash, and 4 whole 4 by 5, and then 2 dashes which are going to represent inches.